Normally this presentation should have been made by Eduardo de la Fuente from the water agency in Spain, but at the last minute he couldn't come, so my colleague asked me to make the presentation in his place. So I'm going to do this presentation. I've discussed with them. It is an interesting project, a European project, Life Plus, on the river. Is it okay? It is a project on ecological continuity of the river Segura in the southeast of Spain, in the Murcia region. For those who know it, it is a very arid region with a very low level of rain, less than 450 millimeters, but strong rains in concentrated period of time. So a lot of obstacles all along the river, and the program that is done, we already had Natura 2000, and downstream the state was not good. On the median, we have got 9 obstacles, 8 of them were removed. There is just 1 in the middle. So I'm going to talk about a peculiar river. So the flow can go from 7 to 2 million cubic meters per second. As you can see on the left, it's like a parking, but it is a river. All the dams on this river are used for irrigation or hydroelectricity, and some of them upstreams, it is against floods. A few data that they gave to me. As I was telling you, in this part we only have agriculture, hydropower, but in Spain we have got more or less 20 dams for drinking water. And in Spain we have got the record of the number of obstacles per kilometer.
Entre les années 50 et 2000 majoritairement.
Square kilometers. This is the catchment area of the Segura River with 19 square kilometers. And we have got, for the part that we are interested in, it is 54 kilometers. So the program, it is like the European program, to the LIFE. The first step with preliminary studies and then works and communication and awareness raising and follow-up of the works. First of all, studies and projects on fish passes. So we have got 9 obstacles on this river. All these obstacles, they are used either for hydroelectricity or irrigation, so we cannot dismantle or remove them. Only 1 of them was useless, and it was destroyed. As I was telling you, in the study part, they studied how to destroy this obstacle, which was useless. So preliminary studies, analysis of the water. Well, I cannot see well because I'm small. All the analysis on water and sediments in order to determine which was the best solution to dismantle this obstacle. Then they worked on the analysis of the ecological state, It will be followed until the final state. They did that very well on this intervention sector on the 54 kilometers of the river. The last step on the study, on the preliminary study, it was about rehabilitation, restoration of the banks. They tried to study which were the environmental characteristics in this sector, what they could do for the invasive species. They applied more or less the same techniques that we are used to see here. Once they elaborated the study part of the project, the planification of the works, they started the works by themselves. They destroyed the well, which was useless. This one was done quickly in 2014, and the river could took its natural bed again. And then they did the same with the fish passes. We had 8 of them on the river in order to destroy all the impassable passages. One of them couldn't be removed for technical reasons, and the owner didn't want to make works. 7 of them were planned, and an 8th one will be done to replace the one which was not done. So on these 54 kilometers of the river, we will have one obstacle in the middle. In Spain, it is regulated. We don't have differentiated rivers. For fish passes, we have got many pictures. They built 4 fish passes, a rustic one, and 2 bypass rivers. You have got the bypass river here, the rustic pass, the second bypass river, and also a basin pass. So 4 of them for the biggest obstacles. I cannot describe them better because I was not working on them. This is the obstacle that they couldn't dismantle, which is in the middle. It is a program focusing on communication and awareness, because the south of Spain is not involved in the removal of dam in comparison to the north. So it is quite new in the south of Spain, and they wanted to communicate a lot in order to make people understand that there was an interest to remove dams. They have done different things that we could reproduce here as well. And here you have got the restoration part. They restored 8 or between 12 and 15 hectares. The objective was to get rid of an invasive species, and they cut them and they planted local species. To put a geomembrane some time and to remove it after it. In Spain, the rivers are from the state and also maintenance of the banks. Water agencies or hydrographic confederation are in charge of the management. So all these works of restoration were made by the water agency. But some agreements were reached with the owners and the people living close to the river. So there is a follow-up which will be done. The people living there should let the water agency know, and in exchange I've got the possibility to choose between a list of species. And apparently it worked quite well this kind of partnership.
In the program, as part of LIFE program, there is a monitoring, certain number of monitoring activities following physical, chemical parameters, fish characteristics, and it's quite advanced. They were quite strong in the flora description, much further than what we're used to doing over here. So, of course, they monitored before the works, after the works, and there is another feedback session now, after 1 year. This is the area the program was involving, working on with all the different barriers. Sorry, it's not the barriers, but the ecological status of each concerned area. And there was a robust, strong social economical assessment. There was a number of initiatives using social networks, different sources of information before the project and during the LIFE program, to see how people were thinking about the river, to prepare the social reaction to this program. So my colleagues are very happy. They believe that this strong effort, strong initiatives in communication helped in a smooth project. They organized workshops, presentations in technical forums, such as today, but in non-technical areas, like bars. Yes, this is how we do it in Spain. They also organized volunteer programs over several days for the restoration part with schools and children, and not just in the field, but also drawing competitions, picture competitions, races, cycling races, paella, evenings. The team really put in a lot of effort to communicate, inform. And the most significant part for us was really to emphasize the fact that we were doing these works to improve ecological continuity, and people need to understand really the point of these works, because what I didn't mention at the very beginning is that this project is implemented by the Spanish Water Agency, collaborating with the region, with the local association, and a local association. I don't have the name right here written down, but I'm sure I will find it. And the specificity where I work, we have 2 people dedicated to this project full-time, but in Spain, nobody is fully dedicated to this project, but several officials are working on it, but they also contract part of the coordination to external people. So it's a wide network of people. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. Otherwise, I will ask my Spanish colleagues, who will surely be able to answer them for you.